हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आज हम क्लास 9 का ट्रेजर चेस्ट ए कलेक्शन ऑफ ICSE स्टोरीज एंड पोएम्स का लेसन 5 ए वर्क ऑफ आर्टिफाइस मार्गरी पियर्सी का असाइनमेंट्स कर रहे हैं। ठीक है, जो भी बुक्स में है उसका असाइनमेंट्स कर रहे हैं। तो सेक्शन ए में क्या है, मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस। तो नंबर 1, व्हाट डज द वर्ड आर्टिफाइस मीन? तो आर्टिफाइस का मीनिंग है डिसेप्शन। ठीक है। नंबर 2, the bonsai tree did not grow 80 feet tall as the gardener whittled back its branches every day। मतलब गार्डनर हर दिन उसके ब्रांचेस को काटता था। the gardener planted it grew in a pot। ठीक है। नंबर सी क्या था, उसको पोट में मतलब उसको ग्रो किया गया था, इसलिए ऑल ऑफ द अबव। ठीक है। नंबर 3, the tree's hidden potential is that it can grow to an enormous height। नंबर डी होगा। और the bonsai tree symbolizes a metaphor for women। ठीक है। What does the bound feet suggest? ये putting restriction on growth, इसको restriction करते हैं हम लोग grow होने में, उसको bound feet कहा जाता है। The guardian represents the patriarch of the society। ठीक है। Number 7, why does the gardener whittle back the bonsai's branches every day? To shape it to his liking। उसके बाद the gardener says that the tree is lucky because it has a pot to grow in। Number 9, the theme of the poem is oppression of women, true, inequality true, deception true। So this should be all of the above। Who is referred to as your in its nature to be small and cozy? यहाँ पे a woman in a bonsai tree दोनों को बताया गया है। ठीक है। उसके बाद नंबर 11, the gardener altered the tree by changing its साइज, नेचुरल हैबिटेट, दोनों साइज को भी चेंज किया गार्डनर ने और नेचुरल हैबिटेट को भी चेंज किया। उसने एक पॉट में उसको ग्रो किया हुआ है। उसके बाद नंबर 12, द टर्म ड्वार्फ इन द पोएम मीन्स टू कर्ब समवन्स ग्रोथ। नंबर बी। नंबर 13, व्हिच फिगर ऑफ स्पीच इज यूज्ड इन द लाइन हाउ लकी लिटिल ट्री? दिस इज आयरनी। With living creatures on one being very early to dwarf their growth, whose growth is the poet talking about? It's a plants। यहाँ पे plants, children, women तीनों भी है। ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे अब एक ऑप्शन चूज कर सकते हैं। नंबर 15, why did the gardener limit the bonsai tree's growth? To keep it tidy and beautiful। Number 15 would be A, which of the following is similar to the word cripple? It's deformed। Number 17, which of the following options contains the same literary devices that appears in the verse from the poem A Work of Artifice, the hands you love too much? So this would be, there were 10,000 fruit to touch, cherish in hand, lift down and not let fall। Number 18, choose the option that least sequence। तो sequence में क्या है? Number 3 would be first, the tree is carefully pruned and kept in an attractive pot। उसके बाद number 2, the gardener regularly snips its branches to ensure its safety in a pot। उसके बाद number 4, the gardener says that the small plant is fortunate to have a pot in which it can grow। And number 1, the speaker rebukes the gardener for damaging the things they love। This would be number C। Then number 19, select the option that shows the correct relationship between statement 1 and 2। So here would be, the trees are pruned so that they can be grown in a pot, a woman's growth is checked by her binding feet, उसके बाद क्या है आप लोगों को select the option that shows the correct relationship between statement 1 and 2। the trees are pruned so that they can be grown in a pot। Number 2, a woman's growth is checked by binding her feet, brainwashing her and putting her hairs in curls। Number 1 is an analogy for two। ठीक है, तो ये comparison है। इसका section B क्या है? Context question। Read the extract given below and answer the question that follows। The bonsai tree is in the attractive pot could have grown 80 feet tall on the side of a mountain till split by lightning। Question number, which tree is the poet talking about? How tall would it have grown and in what circumstances? The poet is talking about a bonsai tree। It would have grown 80 feet tall if it were on the side of a mountain। ठीक है। Number 2, what does the bonsai tree symbolize? Explain। The bonsai tree symbolizes the constraints and limitation imposed on something or someone, preventing it from reaching its full potential। In this context, it may symbolize the human condition or the effects of external control। Number 3, why would it have grown tall? How would have its height been is the enemy? It would have been grown tall on the side of a mountain. Its height would have been its enemy because it was still split by lightning, implying that its tall stature made it vulnerable to being struck by lightning. Number 4, why do you think the poet used the word attractive port in the extract? The poet used attractive port to highlight the contrast between the tree's natural potential and its constrained state. The port is attractive, but it also confines the trees, preventing it from growing freely. Number 5, what does steel split by lightning symbolize? How is the tree protected from lightning? Steel split by lightning symbolizes the idea that even in its constrained state, the tree is not entirely safe from the forces of nature. The tree is not actually protected from lightning. The statement suggests that its height, if it had grown tall, would have made it susceptible to lightning strikes. Number 2, carefully sprung it is 9 inches high. Every day as he whittles back the branches, the gardener groans. Number 1, how tall is the tree? Why did it not grow any further? The height of the tree isn't explicitly mentioned, but the context suggests it's a bonsai tree which is kept small through pruning. It did not grow further because the gardener prunes it. मतलब उसको हर दिन काटता रहता है, इसीलिए वो बड़ा नहीं होता है. Who prunes the tree? Why does he do so? The gardener prunes the tree. He does so to maintain its shape and size, likely to keep it as a bonsai. Number 3, what does crones mean? Briefly describe the symbolism used here. Crones means to sing or hum softly. The symbolism here could imply that the gardener is gentle and caring, while pruning suggests a nurturing or soothing action. What role do the short lines of the poem play? The short lines contribute to a slow and contemplative pace, mirroring the careful and deliberate action of pruning. They may also emphasize the simplicity and directness of the gardener's task and the tree's condition. Number 5. Identify the gardening vocabulary used in this extract. How do this aid in the artifice of the bonsai? The gardening vocabulary includes whittles, branches, prunes, and plot. This term aid in understanding the careful shaping and containment involved in creating a bonsai, highlighting the artifice of controlling the tree's growth. Number 3, it is your nature and to be small and cozy, domestic and weak. How lucky little tree to have a pot to grow in. What is the nature of the tree according to the gardener? The nature of the tree according to the gardener is likely to be one that is being manipulated or controlled. The gardener's actions such as pruning or restricting growth suggest that the tree's natural inclination is being altered. Number 2, is the tree lucky to grow in a pot? Explain the irony in this line. Growing in a pot is not necessarily lucky for the tree, as it restricts the tree's natural growth. The irony lies in the fact that being in a pot, which is often seen as a form of care of nurturing, actually hinders the tree's full potential. Number 3, what effect do these lines have on the tree? Explain. The line likely refers to the physical constraints or pruning applied to the tree. These actions have the effect of stunting or dwarfing the tree, preventing it from reaching its full height or natural state. Number 4, even though the tree had the potential to grow taller, it did not. Why? The tree did not grow taller because it was constrained by the gardener's actions such as pruning or root restriction, which are typically practices in bonsai cultivation. Number 5, if the tree was nurtured, it would have been grown tall and it reached its potential. Comment. This statement suggests that nurturing implies allowing the tree to grow naturally without the constraints applied by the gardener. If the tree was not pruned or restricted, it would have achieved its full growth potential. Number 4 question, what we have? With living creatures, one must begin very early to dwarf their growth. The bound feet, the crimped brain, and the hair in curls the hand you love to touch. Why should one begin very early? What do you understand by dwarf? The passage suggests that to control or manipulate the growth of living creatures, one must start early. The examples given, such as bound feet and crimped brain, imply that this control is often used to restrict or alter the natural development of individuals, particularly women, to confirm the societal norms or expectations. The phrase, the hands you love to touch, indicates that these manipulations are sometimes done to make someone more appealing or attractive. The answer to this question is that one should begin very early to control or manipulate the growth of living creatures, often to conform to societal norms or expectation. What do you understand by the dwarf? The term dwarf in this context means to restrict or stunt the growth or development of something or someone. In the passage, it refers to limiting the potential of individuals, often through societal pressures or expectations. The examples provided, such as bound feet and crimped brain, illustrate how this can be done physically or mentally. The answer to this question is that dwarf means to restrict or stunt the growth of development of something or someone. What is the significance of dwarf and cripple? The term dwarf and cripple are likely used in the poem to describe the physical or metaphorical state of being constrained or limited. Dwarf implies something or someone that is stunted or underdeveloped, while crippled suggests a state of being disabled or severely impaired. In the context of the poem, these terms might be used to highlight the effects of societal pressures or expectations on individuals, particularly women, suggesting that they are being stunned or impaired in some way. Number 3. Briefly explain the meaning and significance of bound feet. Bound feet refers to the historical practice of foot binding in certain cultures, where young girls' feet were tightly bound to prevent them from growing to their natural size. This practice was often associated with beauty and was a symbol of status and femininity. In the context of the poem, bound feet likely symbolizes the societal constraints placed on women, limiting their freedom and potential. It signifies the ways in which women have been oppressed or restricted by cultural norms. Number 4. The bound feet and the hair in curls indicates that the poet is no longer talking about a tree. What is the poet talking about? Justify. The mention of the bound feet and the hair in curls shifts the focus from a tree to a person, likely a woman, given the context to these practices. Bound feet is a historical reference to the practice mentioned earlier, and the hair in curls is a contemporary reference to beauty standards. The poet is likely discussing the societal expectations and beauty standards imposed on women across different times and cultures. The use of these specific images justifies that the poet is talking about women and the various ways they are constrained or judged by societal norms. Explain the meaning and symbolism in the hands you love to touch. The phrase "the hands you love to touch" is suggestive of intimacy and objectification. It implies that the subject, likely a woman, is being viewed or treated as an object of affection or desire, with her hands being a focus of that desire. The symbolism here could be related to the way women are perceived or treated by society, often being objectified or valued for their physical attributes or their ability to fulfill their certain roles. Thank you. अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगे तो प्लीज़ डू लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब, ठीक है। और अगर आपको कोई भी क्वेश्चंस में डाउट है तो कमेंट बॉक्स में लिख दीजिए, आई विल ट्राई टू आंसर इट अगेन। थैंक यू।